Matt, before we take a look at Rochdale on Saturday, you mentioned on Tuesday night after the game that you didn't need to say anything to the lads afterwards because they were saying the right things amongst themselves. Have they spoken any more about Tuesday night? Have they reacted to that?
I know it's not a disjointed week, but obviously the players stay over the hotel on Tuesday night, an hour away from Colchester, and then travel back on the Wednesday. So they get a bit of time socially, and then the ones who didn't get their match minutes trained on Wednesday. The players are off today, but that was a real moment because not that I didn't expect it, but it was great to hear voices after that defeat. Sometimes players, not just at our club, but any club, wait for the manager's voice or the coach's voice or the captain's voice. The fact that they said the right things at the right time was really impressive from my point of view because it showed we got leaders in the group, ones who are stepping up, but also ones who understand the level, understand the league, understand what Tuesday, involved really, which wasn't a poor performance, just a few poor moments. And you look back on that game, we play that game again, and that scoreline doesn't really happen. So. Reasons to be cheerful going into this weekend, and like I say, I was really pleased with the response of the players, and I'm sure there'll be a hungry group going into the weekend.
Obviously, that's testament what you said there to what a great group we have at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, and the fact, not just the fact that they care, but the fact that they understand the level, understand the context of Tuesday, and understand what's needed in terms of what's next. Tuesday night wasn't a time for any big reaction from myself or the players. Everyone was disappointed because they were, but there's always a next in our level of football, and that next is Rochdale this weekend, and we expect them to be unbelievably hungry, not just on the back of Tuesday, but they've been hungry throughout this season. And they'll be wanting to put in a performance which gives us the best chance of taking points away from the game this weekend. We'll have to improve certain aspects, we know that, but I can't fault that team spirit, which seems in abundance at the moment.
Rochdale, a very good side at this level. We've not played them since 2014, and they're seven unbeaten in the league, which I think they've probably been about 7 winless before that. So, they've picked up form at the right time. Yeah,
I was saying on a previous call, a really interesting team to prepare for. Got a lot of young players in there, exciting young players, a really impressive style and an interesting style to watch and prepare for. They score goals, certainly at home. They score early goals at home. But there's a fragility about them as well, which we'll be targeting. But they've got some outstanding players for this level. And obviously, I've been a League One club recently as well. So it's important to understand what we're up against this weekend. But as always, our focus is on ourselves, and the fact that the players are off today suggests we've not got too much time to get too much information into the players, which is why it makes it a little bit more simple in terms of our preparation, because they've just got to go and be quick to the ball, be tough at certain moments, and play our own game.
See one player they've got scoring goals at the moment on form, Jake Beasley, and they've got a young striker from Brighton, Danny Cashman, at the moment. They've got a really strong attacking threat.
Yeah, almost a front three at times, and some good quality ball players behind that as well. Like I say, a real nice style about them and enjoyable to watch. And it hopefully will go into an entertaining game. We don't want it to be an open game to start with, but we want an entertaining game. And we want to be on the right end of whatever scoreline occurs on the weekend. We can speak at length about their threats and their good attacking players, but we've got some good ones ourselves. And like I say, on the back of Tuesday in our recent run, they're in form, they're in a good place physically and mentally, and hopefully they'll be fresh enough to put in a good performance this weekend.
You spoke about the defending on Tuesday night. Is that a conversation you'll be having with the players, or do you think they'll take that up upon themselves?
Well, similar to what we spoke about the performance, I think they know themselves. You play some games and your keeper makes save after save after save. Cam's kit didn't need washing on Tuesday. That's no disrespect to the opposition or the game. He barely touched the ball in anger throughout the rest of the 90 minutes. But we conceded 3 goals. I thought the first one was a good finish from the lad. Still preventable, which is a word I used after the game. But my main frustration, my main cause for change was in the other 2 goals. Not just in terms of the timing of them, which was absolutely crucial, but the manner in which they came about. And it wasn't just a defensive unit. Maybe our team ethic or team mindset at certain times in that game collectively just wasn't quite what it needed to be. We needed to value certain moments a little bit more than we did, and subsequently paid the price in relation to conceding 3 goals, which didn't feel like a game where we should concede 3 goals. But it just gave us too much to do in terms of the outcome of Tuesday night.
How is the squad looking? Obviously, Nigel Atangana was out for Tuesday. Carl Taylor we haven't seen in a couple of weeks. How are we looking at the moment?
Well, Carl's done some more training, so he's available. Hopefully, he'll be in and around the squad this weekend. I don't think Nigel will be fit enough this weekend. He's making progress, which is a real bonus, because if he'd still been as sore this week as it was last week, then we would have to get him scanned, and it would have suggested a longer period on the sidelines. But he seems to be moving in the right direction, and we'll look at the start of next week for Nigel. And then Piers Sweeney picked up that shoulder injury early on Tuesday. Full credit to him. He got through the game, and one aspect of Pierce's game, he's always been available and always been robust enough to play at times with a few little knocks and niggles. But that's been a sore one in the last 24, 48 hours, certainly since Tuesday night. So we'll assess Pierce, and we can't put him at risk, but you want him on the pitch. He gives us great flexibility in terms of the way we play, and has been one of our standout players this season. So we'll assess Pierce tomorrow, which probably means we'll take a couple of extra players with the squad on the journey and train on the way up. Jack Sparks comes back into contention, but they're not in a bad place. Like I say, you always hope as a manager that the journey, you did it yourself, doesn't take too much out of him. And the fact that we got beaten shouldn't take too much out of him as well. You never want to get used to losing, but if you're ever going to get beaten, you might as well do it on the back of being unbeaten for 20 games. And the players have still got to understand that and still be confident in terms of the way they're playing.
Last one for me. Highs of 1 degree in Rochdale on Saturday. It's all right for you. That's your neck of the woods, but it's going to be a chilly one.
It'll be cold. Be no different to what Tuesday night was. Cold, but a compact little ground. And the fans hopefully will feel on top of the players, which means they're a little bit more connected. I always enjoy playing there because Home for Sport was strong, but I think it's not behind the goals where the away fans are. It's almost down one side. And we want to see as many City fans down that side as we possibly can. So when we walk out the tunnel, the players will see them supporting them. And whoever's playing left back in the first half and right back in the second half will get a really good reception and understand what it means, that connection we've got at the moment. It was great to see him on Tuesday night on such a cold night, and you said about the distance they've travelled. I'm sure it'll be no different this weekend, and ourselves and our fans will be looking for an improved points return from the game.